Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? If you've been here before, you know who I am. If it's your first time stopping by, my name is Barb, and this is Halfway to Sane, where we do true crime. I'm going to go ahead, due to this story, get my disclaimer right out there. On this channel, we deal about, like I said, true crime, child abuse, um, any type of abuse, actually. And filicide, trafficking, kidnapping, sex exploitation, etc. And I just want to be sure that you guys know that with this particular story that I'm going to do, that if things like incest, like that, affect you in any type of way, you may not want to listen to the story. This has to do with a young woman who ends up having a relationship with her biological father. It's horrible. That, I don't know. I don't have too much to say on it. It's just disgusting. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get right into the story. So in Dover, New York, what started as a joyful reunion of a young woman with her birth parents soon turned sour, then shocking, and then finally death. A woman named Katie married her birth father, had a baby with him, and lost her life to him, along with that of their child and her adopted father. All three were laid to rest in upstate New York. Katie had no idea before she moved in with Stephen Plattle and his wife in August 2016 that he had an explosive temper, a history of abusive behavior, and he owned at least 4 guns. In 1995, Stephen Powell was 20 years old when he met a 15-year-old girl named Melissa on the internet. She soon became pregnant and gave birth to a girl they named Denise. Alyssa Plattle stated they put the girl up for adoption when she was 8 months old. They were young and poor, she said, but she also believed Stephen Plattle physically abused the baby. He would pinch the baby until she was black and blue, and he would stuff her in a cooler to the point of near suffocation. She did not elaborate much. It was so hard to give her up, but had to because she wanted her to live and be happy. For most of what was her to be her short life, she was. She was happy in that short life. Tony Fusco and his wife Kelly adopted the girl they renamed Katie and raised her with their biological daughter in Dover, about 80 miles north of New York City. Kelly Fusco's brother Carrie said they had a very normal life. Carrie's nickname for Katie was Pac-Man. She was always eating. She loved animals and she was a vegetarian. Katie was an aspiring artist known at Dover High School for drawing comic strips, and she planned to go to college and major in digital advertising. She said in a post, a pen and something to draw on became a safe place for her. Ink became her weapon against rules and regulations. A life without art was no life for her. After turning 18 in January of 2016, Katie, who Carrie said had been told she was adopted, found her birth parents on Facebook and messaged them. The Plattles were happy to reunite with her, and instead of going to college in August 2016, Katie moved in with the Plattles in Virginia that month. Her parents, Tony and Kelly Fusco, were apprehensive and said Carrie, but they thought Katie was old enough to make her own decisions and supported her. Although things were not well in the Plattle home, Stephen and Alyssa had already decided to separate and were sleeping in separate rooms. Alyssa Plattle said she had suffered emotional and verbal abuse by her husband for years. Alyssa said she was always on eggshells. Whatever his mood was, everybody knew, and that mood was often not happy. A lot of yelling, a lot of things smashed in the house in front of the kids. Alyssa Plattle told Katie that Stephen had abused her when she was a baby, which is why they put her up for adoption for her own safety. Katie did not appear to be concerned. Stephen Plattle's behavior changed after he met Katie. He began wearing skinny jeans, form-fitting shirts. He shaved his beard and let his hair grow long. About 6 weeks after Katie moved in, Stephen slept on her bedroom floor one night, and this immediately concerned Alyssa. After he did it again the next night, she confronted him. He said it was none of her business and stormed out of the house with Katie. Alyssa finally moved out in November of 2016. She shared custody of the 2 children that she had with Stephen. In May 2017, she learned from her 11-year-old daughter's journal of the incestuous relationship and Katie's pregnancy. Her daughter wrote that she and her sister were told by Stephen to refer to Katie as their stepmother. Alyssa said she became hysterical and she called Stephen. She asked, "Is Katie pregnant with your baby?" He said, though, he thought she knew and that they were in love. She said she just started screaming and cursing him out, saying, "How could you? You're sick. She's a child." And then she called the police. On July 20th, 2017, 2 months after his divorce from Alyssa was finalized, amid the police investigation, Stephen Plattle married Katie in Parkton, Maryland. They lied on their application, saying they were unrelated. Katie's adoptive parents posed for a photo on the wedding day along with Stephen, Katie, and Stephen's mother. Katie wore a short black dress. Tony and Kelly Fusco thought there was nothing they could do and had decided it was just best to support Katie. Katie gave birth to Bennett on September 1st, and she and Stephen moved to a house on a cul-de-sac in Knightdale, North Carolina. They were arrested on incest charges in January. A judge ordered them to not contact each other and Stephen's mother to have custody of the baby. Stephen's lawyer said there was never an allegation that Stephen pressured Katie into a relationship. This case is an 18-year-old girl who shows up at the doorstep of a 40-year-old man who's going through difficult times with his wife. They have a bond because they're biologically related, but they never knew each other before they had a sexual relationship. He was head over heels in love with her, so much so that outweighed the issue of them being biologically related. In January of 2018, Katie and Stephen were arrested for incest charges. Both were extradited to Virginia to face trial, during which Stephen's attorney maintained his client's relationship with Katie and said it was consensual, emphasizing that she was an 18-year-old woman. He further asserted he was head over heels in love with his daughter and that this had outweighed the issue of them being biologically related, citing Stephen's married troubles as a factor. The judge ordered that Stephen and Katie do not contact each other, and the custody over Bennett would be handed over to Stephen's mother. After the arrest, Katie moved back with her adoptive parents, Tony and Kelly. Every Tuesday and Thursday, she would travel to her adoptive grandmother's home in Waterbury, Connecticut. And on April 12th, Katie and Tony Fusco left the Dover home for Waterbury to visit Katie's adoptive grandmother and to help clean her house. In a minivan nearby, Stephen watched them leave. Surveillance video showed. Minutes later, in nearby Newfield, witnesses reported someone opening fire. Katie and Tony Fusco, both 56, were fatally shot with Stephen's Arrow assault-type rifle. Stephen Plattle was later found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot back in Dover. And in a 911 call, Stephen's mother told the dispatcher her son said he killed the baby and he left the baby for dead. He hid the body in a closet and was believed to have been suffocated. His wife broke up with him the day before over the phone, per the 911 call. She said he told her she's in New York and he told me he was on his way after bringing the baby to her, and that he was coming back. Stephen's mother said, "I can't even believe this is happening." He was upset because Katie broke up with him. Police found the baby dead and alone in Katie and Stephen's home. Alyssa struggles to make sense of it all, and she said, "I'm grieving, I'm sad, I'm upset, but I also want to have something good come out of this. if it gets to get truth out there to open people's eyes to incest. After the killing, Stephen's attorney stated that nobody ever could have predicted Stephen's actions and that during their meetings he showed no indication of possibly turning to violence. He defended his representation of Stephen and the court's decision, stating if any judge or any prosecutor or defense attorney involved in any of these cases believed that the Plattel child would be in harm's way, there would not have been any bond, adding that his view, the professionals care too much about children. Guys, I find this absolutely disgusting. Number one, I don't know how you become sexually attracted to your own biological child, whether you helped raise that child or not, or ever even knew the child existed. It doesn't matter. You are their parent, you're their relative, you're whatever. I don't understand how you become sexually attracted to your own flesh and blood and to do what you did. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Do me a favor, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Hit that thumbs up button and that notification bell so you know the next time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, peace.